What up, everybody? In episode 8, we finally got to see what we knew was coming all season long. Not just Kane and Effie hooking up, but Effie discovering that Lauren is still alive. And at the same time, Kane is following her out, and he also sees that Lauren is still alive. So now Effie has been charged with attempted murder for trying to kill Lauren. Keep in mind, this is an attempted murder case and not an actual murder case. So she wouldn't be looking at a life sentence. She would be looking at some time, and her foreseeable future will be ruined. But on the bright side, she would likely get out when she is still in her mid-20s. However, we hear the feds talking in the episode 9 trailer that if she doesn't talk, they have nothing, and they will have to even drop the RICO case. So why is it so important that the feds break Effie and get her to flip? This is because Sax is now dead, and he was their CI, and the whole reason Jenny was able to open up a new case in the first place. Additionally, having a dead CI is only going to put more pressure on Jenny from her superiors. At the same time, we see Kane doing his best Clark Kent impression and dressing up like a lawyer to advise Effie. Obviously, Davis won't be able to represent her because it's a conflict of interest after representing Tariq in the Jabari Reynolds case. But couldn't Kane actually found a real lawyer to go see about Effie? I'm sure there are more than enough in New York. And Kane is going to tell Effie to be a rat and flip on Tariq, the very thing they were willing to kill Lauren for. Man, Kane and Effie is what you call some hypocrites. And I've heard a lot of comments saying that if Effie snitch on Tariq, she will go down too because Tariq has the recording of Effie talking about Lauren. Let me explain to you for a second how snitching works. So Effie would basically admit to the attempted murder charge already. Then she gives the feds information regarding what they're really looking for. Something on Tariq, Monet, or Noma. And if she can implicate multiple types of crimes, for example, murder and drug dealing, this creates the RICO case. In exchange, Effie would be given immunity in the case and released from jail and possibly be put into wet seg or protective custody if she wanted it. This is the whole reason why people snitch. It's because they can't handle the pressure and the time that they're facing. Kane telling Effie to snitch on Tariq is only demonstrating his ignorance for the second time. This whole situation started with Kane planting Ramirez's badge in Tariq's dorm room. If he wouldn't have ever planted that badge, Tariq wouldn't have ever went to trial in the first place. Lauren was already wearing the wire at the time Kane planted that badge. It was her wearing the wire and getting Tariq on tape talking about Professor Reynolds' book that gave the feds what they needed to get a warrant and search Tariq's dorm room, where they found the badge that Kane planted, which gave them enough to make the arrest. So it was basically equally Kane and Lauren's fault that Tariq got arrested. Plus you add in there Carrie Milgram, who was hooking up with Reynolds, Zeke, Whitman, and Davis, trying to cover her own tracks. But Effie is where she is because she got in the middle of some business that didn't involve her. This was concerning Tariq, Kane, and Braden. She got herself involved when she brought this information to Kane. So I asked the question, why did Effie have loyalty to Kane all the way back then? I was just talking about yesterday, being nosy and getting into other people's business have cost a lot of people their lives in the Power universe, including Sax, Jabari, and Raina off of the top of my head. But Effie getting into the middle of something she should have just left alone got her charged with attempted murder and her future in jeopardy if she don't make the right move. So she should just stick to the G code and not say anything, and she'll be out in no time. But Effie being a snake, and we already know she's a rat from her time at Cho, will most likely flip. Not to mention she got Kane in her ear also. Now I normally wouldn't want to see nobody going to prison, because I've been there and wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. But Effie and Kane both getting locked up would be reaping what they sowed. I just can't relate to all the snitching because I've never even as much as called the police before. And if they ever tried questioning me, all they got was cussed out and some trash talk. This is where it gets real interesting. Going back to the season 2 finale in season 3 episode 1. Remember that Blanca has Tariq going into Mecca's penthouse the night he was killed. We haven't heard anything else about this since then because she is keeping this on the low, trying to see what else she can get. Mecca was Blanca's CI, and she is interested in taking down Mecca's killer and finding out who their new connect is. So the feds are going to offer Effie a deal, basically a get out of jail free card if she tells them what they want. And Blanca doesn't care what she has to do to feed into whatever narrative she wants. Remember in OG Power how she basically told Andre Coleman exactly what to say in regards to how Ghost killed Terry Silver. Dre knew nothing about Ghost killing Silver. He didn't even know it was at a parking garage and said something else. And Blanca said, "You mean at the parking garage?" And she gave Dre a get out of jail card for murder, even though it wasn't a murder he committed, for saying exactly what she wanted him to say. So Blanca could even get Effie to say that Tariq killed Mecca and to tell the feds where the warehouse is where Noma keeps her product. This could tie the whole crew down in a RICO case and leave Effie as the only one to walk away. Remember that after Tariq broke up with Effie and cut her out of the business, she was ready to shut down the All Frap No Cap app in revenge until Kane stopped her. But looking at the season 3 trailers, there's a lot of clips we haven't seen yet, but Effie is not in a single one of them. This got me thinking that it's got to be either that she gets locked up and she's going to have on that orange jumpsuit, or she snitches and goes into a wet sack. Talking about the season 3 trailer, there are 2 important clips that we haven't seen yet. The first clip is where Davis says, "She gotta go, Tariq." And the second clip is Tariq telling someone that he loves them, but he will put a bullet in them. Both of these clips could be talking about Effie after she snitches. If Effie gets killed for snitching after getting arrested for trying to kill Lauren for snitching, would be a crazy way to go down. Her last thought would be like, damn, I wish I would have just minded my own business. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.